Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Behind Groove podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington, and we are back with another 2 episodes of Pluribus, episode number 4 and 5. Please, Carol is
Yeah,
episode
that's
4, and Got Milk is episode 5. So,
yeah.
and hey,
Carol's a villain in four, boy. Oof.
dude, Apple did us like a goodie. You know, we're recording this the day before Thanksgiving on a Wednesday. They gave it to us today. So
Yeah,
you're going to
yeah.
get this video like today or tomorrow. So it's going to be pretty cool. So, yo, what do you think about episodes 4 and 5? Please, Carol, and Got Milk.
Okay, four was dark. It was dark as hell because Carol's an asshole. Man.
Yo, she
That's an
is.
awful person. She's a terrible person. Like, hey, everybody, I'm gonna drug this lady that's been really nice to me this entire time, and she's been trying to be helpful, or whatever. I'm gonna drug her and almost kill her twice. And
She
then,
was. Mhm.
yeah, I love the entity was like, you know what? We're just gonna leave. They're like, we out, man.
They were
We
like,
out.
yo,
I can't do
like,
this no more.
you
You're
know what?
abusive, lady.
Exactly. So it's just like, so in that episode, like episode 4, I was just like, okay, so she was a compounding pharmacist because she got all these drugs, was trying everything. Also, come to find out, she used to do heroin too, huh?
Yes,
Yeah. So
that
is that why we
everything
see
checks
all
out.
the scars on her arm, or is it just from
That's
like,
possible. I
yeah,
think some of that stuff happened from the joining day,
yeah,
but like it is possible. I didn't really, I wasn't really paying attention to her arm before that because I didn't know she was doing all this stuff. But
it's crazy.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again. But like the thing about Vince Gilligan shows are
Excuse
it
me.
probably is a callback to something happened 4 years ago. Like
When she was
that's
an
how he
addict or
does it.
something.
So
Wow.
odds are high that you're gonna look at something and be like, oh wait, because Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul is the exact same thing. Something happened in the back, like a guy will be walking back in the background of a scene, and he's the most important person for the next season, and you even notice it. Like that's what he does, especially like the song choice
Mhm.
and like his locations and everything, like the visuals. Is all about bringing you to something else later on, and that's why I'm a huge fan of this show because the layers are crazy.
Yeah, the
Like
layers
this is
are crazy, man.
insane.
So like
So
what Go
yeah.
ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like Carol just went full on villain mode. She's like Thanos right now.
In
She's just like,
episode
screw it.
4, I know. I mean,
Yeah,
yo, it's
yeah.
crazy
She's
because she
out
was
there.
like, she got drugs. She drugged herself,
Yeah, just to
and
test it.
and
Just to
then
see.
recorded herself just to see like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. And yo, we found out something. She does want to get with old girl. Like I said, she wants to get with old girl. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
a truth serum.
Yeah,
That's supposed to be.
So she drugged herself up,
Hmm.
recorded herself just to see how she would act on this drug, and then was like, oh, this is
Hmm.
a truth serum, or blah, 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 right? And then she
Yeah,
took
yeah.
old girl out, Zosa, she took old girl out who's in a wheelchair and threw that joint in her IV.
That's yes, man.
And I was like, wow. So what she did was she found out that
Hmm.
there is a way to reverse this, right?
Hmm.
But in the process, I mean, if you really think about it, like Zosa, who's her handler or her chaperone, right? She like
Hmm.
almost killed her like 3 times, right?
A bunch of times she's tried to kill her.
Grenade,
And
like drugging her
yeah,
up,
like a
come
bunch
on.
of times she put her body into a grinding machine. And I'm like, yo, Carol is one of the worst. I think she's one of the most awful protagonists to be on a show that I could think of. Like, you can't, it's almost impossible to root for her. Even though, like, she's the hero
Yeah.
of the show. Like, you're
Mhm.
rooting for her to save humanity, right? But at the same time, you're like, F Carol, man. It's an awful, like, imagine living next to Carol for 10 years before this thing happened.
Oh, dude,
It has to
listen.
been like, "Oh my
Mm-mm.
god, I gotta put the garbage out. Look, she's
Listen.
outside." Like, "I'll wait.
We
Imma wait."
how I grew up, where I came from, we didn't have neighbors like that. Neighbors like that got lumped up for real. Like
Right?
for real.
Like,
Just like,
somebody
dude,
like, "Yo,
really you gonna do
you
that?
got to
Okay,
go."
well, we gotta take it, for real.
Right,
But
right.
but she okay, so and then that's what really Please Carol was all about, because they were
Mhm,
basically saying like they can't lie. So now that she knows that everyone knows that there is a way to reverse this, they're
mhm.
basically saying, please, Carol, don't ask me that question.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh,
You know
no,
what I'm
don't go
saying?
there."
Don't
Don't
go
go
there.
there.
Right. And so that's what that was all about. And she's like, oh, okay.
Mhm.
But in the process, she, killed a person who's been very nice to her, almost killed the person. It's so weird because like,
Jerk.
I don't know what sort of first of all, this Carol, this actress, right? She's
Mhm.
really good. She's really good,
Hey,
dude.
she's a
She
great character actress.
she
She's
is
very good.
really, really good, man. And so, I know she's playing this role up like seriously hardcore, man. She's
Mhm.
really good. I mean, if she's not nominated for something, something's going wrong.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, for sure. 'Cause she's
But
carrying the whole show on her back, like, it's just her.
d-
She's the main character, and a lot of
s-
everybody else behind her is just there for a second, disappear, you're never gonna see them again, or they're just there to give you information, but she's carrying the whole entire show on her back.
dude,
And
she mhm,
she's being miserable doing it. That's the
mhm,
best part about, because there's a lot of shows you watch and the character's like nice, or you're rooting for them. They stub their toe like, oh man, I hope you get better, whatever. Carol's an
no,
awful person, man.
she's going
Like
hard
if this
all
was
the
real
time.
life, I would never want to ever see this lady ever
She's
in
going
any
hard all the time.
circumstance. I want to be parked behind her. I don't want to be in a restaurant with her. I
Like,
don't ever
oh,
want to see this lady,
I
but
don't want to go to this restaurant. She's sitting
right?
down, like, oh, she's
Right.
Carol.
She's carrying this show
Mhm.
on her back.
It'd have been crazy if like
Incredible,
her name
man.
was Karen. You know what I'm saying? For real, just like
This probably is
Karen.
close like this for a reason.
Right,
I don't know,
exactly.
but
you
when I
know?
say she's carrying this thing on her back, like, the show is crazy interesting, and she's in every scene pretty much by herself. Like, once the show got started and you saw Carol's a mean person, it's been her on her own doing everything.
Right.
Like, they had a they had a scene of her sleeping, and then in episode 5, she slept for, like, 8 hours, whatever. They
No
just
one
showed her
around,
sleeping there.
you
She's
know?
carrying the show on her back, and the
Dude.
thing is, though, it wasn't like "Oh, I gotta fast forward." It was like, "Alright, Carol's sleeping right now.
I
Alright."
wanna
Like,
watch it. I'm gonna watch
right?
it. You know
This
what I'm
is
saying? I
like
wanna see what's up.
insanity, and
You
this is
don't
how good
know
this show is.
you don't know what I mean, like they were recording her sleeping, so we don't know what would have happened like in the middle of her sleep because it seemed like
Mhm.
they would just throw anything in there or just something interesting, maybe a
Let's
noise, she
see.
gets up, blah 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 blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah, yeah.
It's very
That's
interesting. But
wild, man.
but I can't quite remember this, but
Mhm.
when Zosa was like convulsing like on the ground,
Yeah.
other people were doing the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was starting to affect everybody else.
Okay, right. So, and people were like, okay, so that was the thing she did that hurt everyone. She basically,
One
when
of
she did
many.
that to Zosa, yeah, she drugged up
One of
Zosa and then everyone else. And then apparently she killed some other people. Other people had, so this woman was basically having a heart
yeah,
attack. So
she's
some other
she's
people had a
messed
heart
up.
attack too, died and
But I
everything.
this is what I think too.
Hmm.
I think she actually separated her from the hive. Like, she was physically separated, and that's what she's going through withdrawals, and that's what happened.
Well, remember what I told you, right? Last week, we were talking about, I said, you know what? I
Mhm.
mean, maybe she, she can remove herself in some way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, like we were talking about, like if they got up with if they got with each other, maybe Zosa can say, "Hey, I can remove myself," and then no one else would know, just you and I. Yada yada yada. I don't know. I mean, it
I don't
seems
know.
like,
I I think that the way the hive is now, if she doesn't have a system to do it. Like, maybe
Mm,
there could be a system in the future, but I don't think she has the system to take herself out of the hive, because the hive would know. Instantly, they'd
yeah,
be like, "Oh, what the hell's going on right now?" So,
yeah.
I think that if anything, Carol's realizing, "Oh, it's possible to separate," and then she's gotta figure out what it is. First thing, you gotta figure out what the hell are they eating? We'll get to the episode 5 in a second.
Right.
We're still on 4. But, you gotta figure out these kinda things, because like, that's the thing that kind of, it didn't annoy me, but I found it fascinating that she's not interested in what the hell, like, where are they sleeping? What are they doing?
Oh, I would
Like,
want to know
is it
everything.
around the clock? Like, you
Take
know what
me
I'm
to
saying? Like,
take me to what you
I'm
guys do.
Matlock, man, right?
Yeah.
I'll be on the, I got a
Where
flashlight.
do you
I'm
party?
out,
Where do you
man.
eat? Where do you guys
Right?
congregate? I want to know all that. She's just like,
I would have a car, and I'll have a secondary car. Imma try and sneak out there. I'm trying to figure out what the hell you guys doing. Are you
so
vampires? Like,
mhm.
what's happening here?
Would you say that's
Like,
a missed opportunity though? Or maybe that's something that's going to happen in later
well
episodes, but right now it
Carol's
seems like a missed
basically
opportunity, right?
Carol's basically getting around to that.
Mhm.
But, like, for me, once I figure out I'm immune, that's the very first thing I'd have to figure out is how does this thing work?
Yeah,
What are you guys doing?
that's
When
true.
you're not here, is everybody electrician? You're working on the poles? Like, what's happening here between 2 and 8 o'clock in the morning? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be looking to all of this stuff. Where are you guys
Yeah.
sleeping? Are you
Mhm.
guys, like, all rolled up on a cot? Like, where you at? Like, what you know what I'm saying? And then
Sleeping
the second thing,
standing
okay,
up
what are
like
you
in
eating?
coves, like how
Yeah, yeah.
Seven used to like recharge and whatnot, just like
Exactly, like,
two,
that's what I'm
what
saying, like, I'm thinking about this stuff.
two things struck me in episode 4, Please Carol. Like one, like when Zosa was convulsing and everyone else was convulsing, the people who were not convulsing, the happy people, they had a very stern look towards
They're, like,
Carol. You know what I'm
concerned,
saying?
man.
Like
They
they were
look
like,
very
"Wow,
concerned.
you like why are you doing this?" Right? And the other thing I came
"This
to the
chick again?"
realization of is
Mhm,
this virus is like the dumbest virus I've ever heard of, I've ever seen, like in a movie. I mean, like, dude, it's like it's a virus that makes
mhm,
everyone happy, but then there's a flaw in it because if any of the people who aren't affected by the virus gets angry, then
mhm.
the happy people die. So that's a flaw in the virus. And then the other thing is, you told everyone who has all the happy people who have the virus, you have to be
Mhm.
honest and you have to tell them everything they want to know, regardless, right?
Well,
So you
I
give
think
them the
this is
ability
kinda
to
like
tell
the
you how to separate themselves. Come on.
well, I think this is kinda like the Matrix. Do you remember Matrix 1 when Agent Smith was interrogating, Morpheus?
Mhm.
He's in the apartment building. And he was like, "Yo, this is like the eighth. He said this is the seventh Matrix we've created. And the first Matrix, it was perfect utopia. Everybody's happy. And he said all kind of crops died, everything failed, and we figured out humans need suffering, and that's the only way we can keep them enslaved in this thing is because their lives are horrible, right?" And that's the first thing that popped in my mind when I saw like
Mhm.
everyone's smiling, like this. They can't be happy. Something else is going on here. That's
Mm,
the first thing that popped in my mind. It reminds me of the Matrix where this is the first version of this thing. They're gonna have to go redo it again because Carol broke everything, and
mm.
they got that come up with a new way to fix this thing. And
So,
version 2.0 is gonna be different.
mm.
That's what I think.
So it sounds like you're saying, there's some sort of a Wizard of Oz behind the curtain somewhere. Maybe someone like, I truly believe that
Mhm.
there is a Wizard of Oz. There is like people,
Something's
right?
in charge of this.
Something's in charge of this. Who dropped the virus
Yeah.
like on the entire planet? Come on, it's got to be,
Well,
you know.
I saw this video and it made a very good argument. And the argument is, and I can't even credit this guy. I don't even know who it was. It was like a little short. But the point is the argument is that the people are acting in the hive are acting like bees,
Mhm,
right? And then there's a queen bee somewhere. And if Carol finds the queen bee, she can kind of break this whole thing apart. But like she thinks that
mm,
they're acting like in a hive,
right.
right?
Hmm.
They're doing their
Hmm.
jobs as a hive, whatever. But something's like the main brain behind all this stuff.
Hmm.
And so she
Mm.
thinks that, there's a guy. He thinks that there's a main brain somewhere, like a queen bee, if you will, somewhere in the world who's coordinating all the bees to what to do and how to act,
I'm thinking
whatever.
about the Imperium, like it's this guy, the
Yeah,
Imperium
yeah.
in Warhammer. He's
Right?
nothing. He's plugged up. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
you
And
know
so
what I'm saying?
there's a god emperor somewhere on
Right.
Earth that's running on the hive.
Right.
That's basically the argument.
That's actually
And
a
I was
very
like,
interesting
"Oh, that's
argument
a
for real.
great argument right
Yeah,
there."
for real, man.
That's a very good argument because everybody's connected, but they're
Hmm.
doing it on the guise of this is good for everybody. So somebody has to be in charge here. Something's maintaining this thing. When
Yeah.
Carol talks on the phone, she's talking to something, and like that, the main person does the answering, and it goes tell. It's like your arm. You tell your arm to go pick up this thing. Go move your arm here, whatever. But your brain's in charge.
Hmm.
But like we have little pieces and little roles to play. There's a role for society. Like you gotta make sure electricity's on. Carol gets her gas and her food, but someone's got to drop that off somewhere. But the main focus is everything, keeping everything running. So I do think the queen bee argument is
Hmm.
strong. Is
Hmm.
very good. I think
I,
it's a really good argument,
I keep
especially after the
what?
season or episode 5 with the liquid thing that they're drinking. I was like, they're making honey kind of thing.
Okay,
This is
listen, we're gonna get into five, but let me just say this.
yes.
And I brought this up once before, like I think in the the last Pluribus review we did. But if you look
Mhm.
at the Borg, right? The
Yeah.
Borg, like they're captured as humans and then they're augmented.
Yeah.
Things are implanted in their heads, the whole nine. They have tech inside of them, and then
Yeah.
they are part of the hive and they all think alike, Um, so when you think about like the happy people, right?
Mhm.
They're all happy, they all think the same, and they all share the same memories and thoughts of everyone. Where's
Yeah.
that connection? Where's that connection
It's
happening?
gotta go somewhere.
But
That's
I'm
the
just
thing. I don't
it's like how were they augmented? It doesn't look that way. I mean, she's getting like Zosa is getting blasted by like, shrapnel from like a grenade. She's getting drugged up and having a heart attack, cardiac arrest, the whole nine. It's like,
yeah, yeah.
where is the technology connection here? There has to be a
Well,
technology
that
connection here.
one of the things I like about this show is that they didn't augment people. Like
Hmm.
they're still weak and fragile. They still get common cold and all this other because hospitals still have to run.
Yep.
There's full of people still.
Hmm.
I like that aspect of because normally when they do these shows and an alien takes over, whatever, they just turn into superhuman beings, and then you got a force of super Chuck Norris's you gotta fight. And you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's still regular people. She can push people over and be out of the way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's still possible.
Possibly
So
kill a million
I
people though.
yeah, I know. As I say, with the numbers get up, you got problems. But
Mhm.
like I like that it's on that level of they're still regular. Like, same thing with Walking Dead. You got zombies. Like the zombies are kind of enhanced because they don't get tired, but they're kind of feeble and bodies falling apart, right?
Yeah, and they
So
don't
like you
like.
have stuff that it
Yeah.
kind of goes in your favor and against your favor depending on what it is.
Mhm.
And here, humans are regular humans still. I do here's the thing, right? If
Mhm.
there's a way to defeat it like this, I think that our bodies haven't changed. The only thing that's changed is that we're in a pool where everybody can listen to each other and talk to each other.
But
That's
how?
the only thing that's changed. But that's the thing.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, are there
Well,
towers and whatnot? Like this virus means
well
that, I don't know. See, you're talking about
hold
something.
on, hold on.
What's
Here's
up?
the thing.
What's up?
Here's the thing.
What?
The very first thing they got rid of is a cell phone.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
the very first thing they got rid
Yep.
like no
Yep.
cell towers, no
Dude, that is
nothing.
so true.
All the TV channels are
Oh my
down,
goodness. That is so
all
true.
the signals. So
Mhm.
it could be regular Wi-Fi in your house is getting menu part of the system.
And
That's
they
why you're in
always
the
say that they are turning off stuff and they're cutting off power to reserve power, preserve power. You know
Yes,
what I'm saying?
yes.
So okay, so now with episode number 5, Got Milk. Um, Carol,
Mhm.
like in the beginning of this episode, right? People were around
People were mad.
for the
Yeah,
first
they were
5 minutes, right? For the first five or
they were
seven
hot.
minutes. Then after that, she was all alone, and then she got a call from the Indian girl who was there with her son, and that was the only time anyone else was
Yeah.
in this scene. She controlled mastery the entire scene
Mhm.
by herself, the whole
Yes.
nine. Yo, listen,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's like it's a love
She
hate
needs an Emmy,
relationship with
man.
her. You know what I'm
I'll say
saying?
this right
I have
now.
a love hate
This
relationship with her because I like her because she's a master at this stuff. What she's doing here, I mean, just like,
yeah.
I mean, dude, like just imagine like her getting into this character, right? Because
Mhm.
the character is super dark, neurotic, just narcissistic. The everything under the sun. She's a
Yes.
killer. And now in episode
She's
5,
cold-blooded, man.
now in episode 5, she knows that she's a killer and she's trolling people like, listen, if I don't get what I want, I'm gonna get
Yeah.
angry. Wow. Come on.
She has no remorse. She doesn't feel bad about it. She's just
Mhm.
like, "Yo, F 'em." Oh, 100 million people died? That's too bad.
Yeah.
Anyways, like, yo, that's where she's at right now,
I
which is wild.
I do
Cause you know
like
what I'm
her
saying?
drive. I do like her drive where like, what's old boy's name? The French guy. He's like, yo, I
Oh,
love what's going on. He's just like da da
yeah,
da da
yeah.
da that guy. But she's like, no, 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 no. This is humanity, right? So this whole joint, she's like not only alone, but she's finding out some things. She's investigating some things, right?
Yes,
Now we
which I
there's some
love. I love this aspect of the show now. She's looking around trying to get to the bottom of stuff. It's
That's
great.
a very good question because we'll not question the things she's doing because last week we were saying like, okay, she's and I still think so because I was just talking about the tech. She's looking for medical doctors. Maybe she should be looking for tech people. Maybe it's both.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Right.
Yeah.
So here she is and she's investigating like, hey, what's going on?
Mhm.
She just stumbled onto that. I mean, and the drones coming to pick up her trash and all these packages. That's funny as anything,
Dude,
isn't
I
it?
laughed so hard when that drone hit the pole and
Mhm.
it wrapped around. I was like, "Oh my god."
So
That was so
Carol,
funny.
so they were like, so the happy people, they were like, listen,
Mhm.
we're like dying. This person is like hurting us. So they basically said we need a break, and they all like left her, dude, which made her empty in this whole town,
Well,
which is why the
that's
drones are
another
coming.
part.
Hmm.
There's so much comedy in this last show.
Yeah.
Like, when she fell in the garbage can, I
Yep.
laughed, like,
Mhm.
when everybody's moving, like, you see the highway just part like this, and everyone's leaving the city, and she's like, "Ah, come on, man." Like, there's so many aspects of this was funny, but, like, the idea that they're like, "I gotta get away from she's killing us right now. We gotta get rid of this crazy lady.
Yeah.
Like, leave her alone. Here's some food. Stop bothering us." And I love how she turned from I can do it myself. I don't need your help.
Excuse me.
To every 5, hey, can you take the garbage out? Hey, can you turn the lights on?
It
Hey, can
just
you
goes to
like
show
every
you
5
how much
minutes? Like,
she needs these people. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
But do you think that okay, so we know that. So she was getting rid of some trash. She dumped it
Mhm.
in some dumpster, some public dumpster. She saw all of these milk cartons. Then she was
Yeah.
like, hey, this is weird. Then she checks it out again. She's checking out
Mhm.
everything, dairy, Duke's dairy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And then she was like, I mean, dude, just getting the bag and then saying, okay, this bag looks familiar, going to the grocery store, trying to scan it and saying, hey, this bag looks like this here,
I love this, man. This is
dude.
great.
And then she goes to the what was it, Agralat or whatever it's called,
Yeah,
Agrajet. And she
yeah.
goes into this warehouse. Dude, first of all, I'm not going into a
Okay.
room with a
And
door that big.
I'm gonna say something, it's gonna
Right?
sound wildly racist, but, like, for
Mhm.
black people, this is how I feel. This is white people stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this in the middle of the night, right?
Yo,
I'm not. I'll
yo,
come in the morning. I can
no,
wait. Whatever's on my
dude.
mind, I'll figure it out in a couple of hours. It'll be
I
good.
am
I'll wait.
and the other thing I
I'm not
kept
in a
thinking
hurry.
was, I'm like, okay, these are happy people, right? But
Mhm.
they're angry at her. They all walked away from her,
Yeah.
said, yo,
Yeah.
we're out of here, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
who knows? Like maybe it's just someone who's kind of like kirking out off the virus and she goes into this
Mhm.
spot and someone just knocks her upside the head. But I'll say this
Bro.
again.
Mhm.
I walk into a warehouse that's dark. I have a flashlight. And
Ain't no
there's a
way.
this door is huge. I'm
Mhm.
not opening the door. I'm not
Nope.
knocking on the door.
I'm not doing
I'm walking
look,
back outside.
a bunch of things I would have done first. First, I would
Mhm,
turn the lights on.
mhm.
That's number 1. I'm not walking anywhere with the flashlight, and
No.
that's my only light
Mm-mm.
is the flashlight.
No.
I'm not doing that. Second thing, if that big door was there and it wasn't opening, I'll look for a smaller door somewhere else. So there has to be another door somewhere else.
Mhm.
It's a giant warehouse. So I would have found that. I'll feel more comfortable about having a second exit. Cause my first thought was she gets trapped in there and you
Yeah.
got real problems.
I thought she was
Yeah,
gonna get
'cause
knocked upside the head for real.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Or she go find another survivor or something like that, but that's
Yeah.
also possible. But, like, just going into this place exploring in the middle of the night, that's not
No.
me. No, I'm not gonna
Mm-mm.
do
No.
that. Yeah.
So
Like,
she gets
this
this
is not me.
so she goes in. Well, first
Mhm.
of all, she's in this she from the dairy, she got like a bag of something. She was looking at this
Yeah,
milk,
she
right?
figured it out.
Right.
She did numbers. She figured out this comes from
She
this
got
place.
her a jacuzzi tub, pH kit to test everything out. Then she went to Agrajet
Mhm,
and she was like, okay, huh, okay, because Agrajet was on the same type of bag that this white
mhm.
powder was in. And then there are these there's it's rows of like it looked like people covered up, dead people covered up. We don't know because it was
We
like,
don't know
that
yet.
wasn't the reveal, but it looked like dead people.
Yeah,
I think I saw legs, chest, things like that.
yeah,
You
yeah.
said you watched a clip of something and they were saying something about that. What do you think about that?
Well, my theory, and
Mhm.
this is just based on what I heard or whatever, I
Mhm.
think it could be like some kind of solvent green kind of thing where it's like they grind up the people and they're feeding the people to the people, like,
Right,
something like that.
because
Because
they don't
they
have any
wanted
more
they gotta
virus and
be neutral.
right. Yeah. Mhm.
You gotta think about it like that. They don't wanna contribute to harm of the environment, whatever, so
Mhm.
if they can grind up the bodies and put the right chemicals in there, and then it's good for the rest of humans to eat, they would do that.
Mhm.
100% they would do that. So as an entity worried about, conserving conservation and environment, stuff like that, that makes sense. So I think it's either there's 2 things.
Mhm.
Either it's humans
Mhm.
or dead animals in there, like wolves, bears, whatever, like whatever
See,
they find,
see
and keep to
the
the core.
animal angle. See, I think it's humans. We spoke about this offline. I think it's humans because the humans have the virus, the animals don't.
Yeah.
Clearly, because they were like coyotes and wolves, like trying to like dig up a girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? For real,
Yeah, they got me
that was
starving out
crazy,
there,
right?
bro. It's
And
got me tight.
yeah, so it was
Animals
just
are
like
having a rough time of it.
so, but here's okay. So, and I said this, we said this, just spoke about this offline as well. It's like, okay, if that's the case, it's just like, okay, the
Mhm,
happy people, in order for them to continue being happy, because,
mhm.
maybe they don't have enough of the virus or they can't really make it, and they really can't because they're saying it may take weeks, months, whatever.
Okay.
Remember
Take a
even like,
while to figure it out.
convert the 12 people, the 13 people. So because they don't have the virus, they're like, well, you know what? Our people, our happy
Mhm.
people who are dying, maybe we can grind them up in a way, like you were saying, to just drink this and then we can just continue to
Get
survive. As
something.
if that's the case, right?
Yeah.
Then they kind of, ooh, I just thought about this. If that's the case, right? Okay, so let's say there's
Okay.
like a queen bee somewhere, right?
Mhm,
Or let's say that someone created this virus, knowing that they may run out of the virus, right? So
mhm,
and the only way that they can nourish their people with the virus is to consume those happy people who have died. So in order for you to keep a nice rotation of happy people dying, we will
mhm.
like say that whenever these people who aren't converted get someone angry, becomes angry, all the happy people die, and then we have, you see what I'm saying, it's just fresh happy
Yeah.
people rotating all the time because
I mean,
these
like,
like
that's
unconverted
possible.
or like being mad, getting mad, and being negative, and then these happy people are dying. That could be. I know I took a long time to
Yeah,
get
no,
to
no,
that,
no. I
but
got you. See,
I
here's the
think
thing.
that could be it.
Here's the thing about this show. Like, they've introduced a couple concepts to us.
Hmm.
The concept they have is that they have to turn off all of the Wi-Fi, all the cell phone signals for
Hmm.
everything. They turn
Hmm.
it, you're all gone.
That's the
And I
tech.
think that's a
Hmm.
factor that if the Wi-Fi hits you, it'll scramble whatever's happening there. And I think
Mm.
it could be a factor. And the second thing they introduced to us in this episode is that they need to maintain this thing. And I think they maintain it by feeding them these guys with this stuff, whatever they're giving them to drink.
Hmm.
Because she said they're drinking a crap ton of this stuff, right?
Hmm.
So it
For
would
real.
mean to me that would mean that they need this thing either along with regular food or they're only eating this one single thing. But the point about it is they need it to maintain the connection everybody has.
Mm.
So you got to get rid of the Wi-Fi and your cell phone signals, and you got to drink this thing to keep you on the cycle. So I
Hmm.
think Carol
Mm.
can upend all this stuff if she can blow up the factory providing them with the drink or turn the Wi-Fi signals on again.
Well,
She can upend all that stuff.
blowing up the factory. Okay, wow, that's very interesting.
Well, I mean, you
The-
gotta do both. You can't
yeah.
just do one. You gotta do both. You gotta
Well,
up it because you gotta smash this thing up long enough for a bunch of people to get out of it, and then you can kind of go from there and try to figure out what to do later on. But like, I'm
mm,
just saying, like, if your first thing is to kick in the door to kind of start the avalanche of the get the ball rolling down the hill kind of
mhm,
argument, that would be
mhm.
it. You turn on the Wi-Fi signals it affects how the brain thing's working, and you get them to not be able to drink this thing for a little bit, and then see what happens. I think these 2 things are connected for certain.
Do you think that maybe within this virus or even the milk they're drinking, there could be like some nanites or microbots or something, and then that's the
Anything, man.
technology connection. There has to be a technology
Yeah,
connection
oh, for
for them
sure.
to like be able to
The show
absorb everyone else's memories and thoughts
No,
and
but the
everything.
show started off with the technology connection to all this, where they got this beam from the sky that is a DNA sequence, and he put that into an animal. Animal
Right.
bit the girl, and it's how this all started. It's
Right.
d it's technology started this. So,
What
I don't think it
mhm.
ever left. I think it's always been there.
Yeah, okay, so that's very okay, that is tech, but not, sort of like
It's
be
lo-fi tech.
right, because we kind of think that, could this be AI or what? You know what I'm saying? We just don't even know, right? So it's just like, I mean, like right now, it's low tech. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? But you make a
But
very good point, like in terms of the cell phone towers and like all the
it's doing something.
electronic, signals. Yeah, dude,
It is definitely doing something.
that
Cause
could
yeah,
be
think about, like,
serious.
communication's better in the world if they have this stuff, but they don't need it because 'cause they're in everybody's brain.
Right.
So you can't have a way for people to communicate. Like, Carol has to go copy this thing, put it on the curb, wait for
Mhm.
these guys to get around to if Carol can talk directly to these people, that's a problem,
But what
right?
about, I mean, but she was so if we talk about like that sort of technology, like cell phone towers and cell phones and stuff like that. What about TVs? The TV did work. I mean, the guy, the
There's no
Secretary of
signal.
Agriculture, it
She's
was
she's watching oh, yeah, yeah, it was working, and then
mhm,
it's off now.
and then it's
I
off,
don't think
yeah.
they're using it anymore.
Yeah, so wow.
I
So
think initially
that's
it was just to get a hold of Carol, like, "Hey, this is what's up.
like,
Alright,
hey,
we're gonna turn the TVs off
that's
now
even
because
creepy,
Carol's watching
like
DVDs
the
now."
TV start talking to you actually and answering your
I
questions
would
and
I
can
would
hear
lose my
you. You
mind.
know what I'm saying? And
That's
see
what I'm
you. That'd
saying.
be crazy as anything, you
That'd
know.
be nuts. That's
Yo,
too much, man.
this show, man, Pluribus is crazy. I'm really feeling this show. What are you going to rate Pluribus episodes 4 and 5? Please, Carol, Got Milk. What are you going to rate both?
Right now, because it's a Thanksgiving miracle, I'm giving this show a 10 right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm loving the concept of the show. I'm loving that we're getting little hints every show, and now it's turned into like a murder mystery horror movie. Like all this is great. And, like, it's thought provoking, like, they're not just trying to do cheap scares or whatever, like, it's real thought like, I'm we sitting down texting each other and talking I got, like, a clipboard of things like, "What how did it do this? Where's
Mm-hmm.
this from? What does this mean?" I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm checking this thing out. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't you know what I'm saying? Like, most shows I watch, I just watch it and this is it. I'm, like, invested into what the hell's going on with this show, and I'm glad it's a hit. I think it's number 1 on Apple TV. And like they just needs to maintain this. Right? They put more money into the show, may put more seasons into the show. Because
Yeah.
this show has got to be expensive, man. They have all these places they're going that's empty for them. They
Yeah,
cleared
but
up the city to go do this.
yeah, but you know what? See, I was thinking that today. I was just like, this show. I was just thinking this show can't be that expensive because they're in one city. I mean, just look at episode number 5.
Yeah.
She was basically by herself, dude. That must have been a really inexpensive episode. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, yeah. But I'm gonna say like the locations and stuff like they're taking over a hospital.
Yeah.
They're clearing out half the hospital for them to do a couple scenes.
Mhm.
Like that's not. These are not simple things.
No, yeah, that's true.
Like, I've been in the hospital, man.
Mhm,
To have them clear out a half a hospital for you to shoot
mhm,
some stuff for a couple days,
mhm.
that's not a little thing.
But
That's
there
a
are a
big deal.
lot of empty hospitals in America too
Well,
now.
that's true too. That's
You know what I'm
100%
saying?
true. Well, I
Dude.
mean, this stuff could be just, a hallway and that's all they needed. But, like, regardless,
Mhm,
it's got this eerie feel to it of how they shot this stuff. Like, you really feel like, "Oh, the city's empty. Carol's by herself now for miles." Like,
wow.
you really feel that,
Yeah.
right? That's crazy. And I'm saying, like, the cinematography is amazing, the visuals are crazy, and, like, the ideas on the show are crazy. And, Vince I don't know anything that Vince has done that I'm like, "Oh, this is trash." Vince has been cooking ever since Breaking Bad. He's on fire, man.
Yo,
Because
listen.
Better Call Saul, I thought I wasn't gonna like Better Call Saul because he's a big character in Breaking Bad, but like, oh, it was great, man. It was a great show.
Listen, I am also going to give this joint a 10, both episodes all the way around. Miss Seehorn, Rhea, I think her name is Rhea Seehorn. She is like,
Yeah.
again, I have sort of like a love hate relationship with her, but I
Mhm.
like how she's, episode 5, that was Got Milk. That was it, dude. That was it. I was just like,
That's
oh, you know
wild,
what?
man.
It's so crazy. Like when we look at these shows, right?
Mhm.
Like Silo, Foundation, um, even The Expanse, right? These shows, like the story arc on these shows, we talk about character building and everything else. It's just Carol, right?
Mhm.
In
Yeah,
some of
yeah.
these episodes, you know what I'm saying? It's just her sitting on a sofa doing goofy stuff, drinking and everything else, right? And I'm just like, wow,
Mhm.
this is crazy. Like you said, the cinematography on this joint is crazy. Um, the writing
It's
on this joint,
engaging, I should say. That's what it is. It's engaging.
okay, yeah,
Like, you
I
wanna what you
actually
see on
like
the
that
screen,
better.
you
It's
wanna watch
engaging.
it. You wanna see what the
Yes.
hell's going on.
Yes, I'm going
And
to
it's
take that.
basic as hell. It's just
Yes.
simple.
Yep. I like that word better. It's engaging. That's so true. Because there were a lot of times when she was just like in episode 5, just investigating and not saying anything, right?
Yeah, it's just walking around the hallway,
Right.
like,
And I'm just like, hey,
oh.
that's engaging. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And just like how they're using tech, they bringing in the drones and everything else. But dude, she's killing it. Um,
Mhm.
she is, like I said, she is not only the star, she is the supporting star. She's like everything.
Everything.
You know what I'm saying?
Everything.
So I gave it a 10. I'm sorry, I gave it a 10. Keo gave it a 10. This is
Mhm.
Pluribus. We are 5 episodes, and I think they have a total of 9 episodes. That's what I can see thus far on
Mhm.
IMDb, and there is a season 2. We are talking about Pluribus. We are 5 episodes, and Apple TV gave us a very cool episode the day before Thanksgiving. So this review is going to come out on Thanksgiving. Keo and I both gave it a 10. It's on Apple TV. Go check it out because it's an awesome show.
That's it.
Well, there you have it. Thanks for checking out another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.